Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 9:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. session of the 2024 Open Simulator Community Conference. In this session, we're pleased to introduce the presentation, Adaptive Learning with AI-Infused NPCs for TESOL in VR, VW destinations. Our speaker is Helena Galani. Helena Galani is an accredited TESOL EAP online educator with degrees from the University of Cambridge, UCLAS, and an MA in ELT of the University of Nottingham. She blends her lessons in immersive virtual worlds for online, flipped, and hybrid classes. She owns ELT Treasure Island, Kitely in OpenSim, and taught and trained EFL teachers for Indire et Mondo. As EVO moderator and as speaker, Helena trains language teachers to use virtual worlds with transmedia storytelling, games, and interactive scenarios. Please check out the website found at conference.opensimulator.org for speaker bio, details of session, and the full schedule of events. The session is being live streamed and recorded, so if you have any questions or comments during the session, you may send tweets to OpenSimCC with the hashtag OSCC24. Welcome, everyone. Let's begin the session.
Thank you very much for the introduction, Heike. It is wonderful to be back. I love coming and presenting different aspects of English language teaching at the online Open Simulator community conferences annually. I'm Helena Galani. During my presentation, I will be focusing on adaptive learning using AI-generated non-player characters in virtual reality and virtual worlds for teaching English to speakers of other languages. Also, I will be highlighting the importance of integrating AI NPC companions in virtual reality virtual worlds to enhance language education. It does seem that my slides are not in the right order at the moment, but I would like to point you to the direction of the slides online, which is why I'm going to type in the chat the link to the presentation. First of all, a brief overview. This presentation examines adaptive learning in AI-infused virtual reality and virtual worlds for TESOL. We will address personalized learning paths, instructional design for developing communicative and linguistic competencies, and criteria for using AI-driven avatars and NPCs to help enhance language skills, register, fostering fluency through interactive conversations and instant feedback in diverse educational settings. My particular settings involve teaching adults, especially online, and younger learners face-to-face mostly. I mix my teaching approaches, and I use virtual reality, AI, and virtual worlds quite a lot. The topic, title, and content of this year's Open Simulator Conference and EVO session 2025 were inspired by my immersive quest around edunation for the post-conference of virtual worlds, best practices in education, mythic origins, and also my presentation at the VRT EdTech Tools Fest in July 2024, entitled Demystifying API Keys. The slides are not quite in the right order. I'm sorry about this. So let me proceed in the order I had originally planned. There There will be slides coming soon about from the immersive quest around education and the workshop for virtual reality for EdTech Tools Fest online. My students' feedback and prompts to the direction of using AI NPCs in virtual reality and virtual worlds for ESOL classes suggested that it is more effective than traditional course books. I'm quoting students' words here because it allows for more freedom and creativity, as my students have said. It is more natural than learning through course books. Also, they have added that when tailored to the learner's proficiency level, this approach stimulates curiosity and inspires learner involvement in building their NPCs to design and create characters. For example, for business English, for insurance-related topics, or even for tango lessons. These are just indicative topics of lessons. There are some learner creative AI NPCs, and the images you have been seeing present you with two of the main AI-driven NPCs in ELT Treasure Island Kitely. And the name of the NPC is Socrates. You're just looking at it in front of you at the moment. And you're, yeah, Socrates, as you probably know, is a renowned philosopher. And also, we have created a lot of other characters like Madame Curie and the assistant with whom the learner can converse to practice and exchange information and ideas. Also, another inspiring topics my students have created is Portara, the monument on Naxos Island for those who have traveled to Greece, and that is located on a holodeck above Education 3 in Second Life. It's a simulation. We've also done a lot of inspiring work in Wanda VR, where there's a teacher's consultant with whom educators can converse for advice and to debug any issues they have in class. As I will also present at the EVO 2025 session this year called, I will be announcing it at the end a little bit more officially. It is entitled this year Immersive AI Companion Design. And there is also work that has been done in Frame VR, a young language academy, which is the name young students have given to their virtual school, which contains AI companions, which is the representation of themselves, is also worth looking at. And links will be provided soon. Well, if I go back to the previous mention about Socrates AI, I know my images are not in sync. And I'm trying to synchronize at least the speakeasy HUD. So I will show you examples of integrating Socrates AI NPC in ELT Treasure Island, Kitely. And in this virtual reality scenario, learners interact with AI-driven NPCs in a simulated cafe, conversing with Socrates, the philosopher, but in fact, he's artificial intelligence non-player character who is supposed to be drunk, which makes students feel entertained. So after doing online research on generative AI platforms such as ChatGPT or Copilot or Perplexity, they practice vocabulary, they use the English grammar in practice, they practice discourse features, pragmatics, dialectics, CLIL, simply by retrieving information about this particular character. There's a lot of learning taking place, and especially For my student psychologist who is preparing for her postgraduate studies, this is a very good starting point, as Socrates has inspired a lot of psychoanalysis theories in the modern world. But what is adaptive learning, you may ask? Well, it is an educational approach that utilizes technology, particularly algorithm and artificial intelligence, to tailor learning experiences to the unique needs of each individual learner. This method moves beyond traditional one-size-fits-all models, recognizing that learners have different styles, paces, and preferences. The key components, as you can also see, this time this image is synchronized, are multiple. They are real-time feedback mechanisms, data-driven instructional adjustments. There's also a component of personalization and personalized learning paths, adaptive learning systems, customize content to match individual proficiency levels. This particular feature involves dynamic adjustments with adaptation of the presentation of educational material in real time based on learners' interactions and responses. It is data-driven. It provides data-driven insights as adaptive systems collect and analyze data on learners' performance, allowing for informed adjustments to content and instructional strategies. The role of prompt design or prompt engineering is crucial for this particular feature in virtual reality and virtual worlds. Engaging material is employed. They incorporate various resources and instructions in the prompt always to enhance engagement and motivation among learners for a seamless experience. So this way you can see that you can even have young learners becoming content creators, which is very motivating for them. It opens up their horizons. There is collaboration. Adaptive learning promotes collaboration, not only among students, but also between the teacher and the students, fostering interaction that can lead to improved problem-solving skills. It's a responsive technology, as effective adapting learning platforms are designed to be user-friendly and accessible, with the care of the teacher, who always balances the content of the prompt. What are the criteria for using AI-driven avatars and NPCs? NLP capabilities that the avatars possess to understand and respond to user inputs in real time, personalization and adaptability, the ability to tailor interactions based on individual learner profiles, individual feedback mechanisms, providing instant feedback during conversations, which helps learners identify mistakes and improve their language skills. There's a lot of detail which you can have a look at on the presentation online. It is engaging in immersive environments. Emotional intelligence and realism are activated. There is cultural contextualization. The user interface is very friendly. And most important of all, I've left it for the end, but it is not least important, is teacher initiation of character building. Educators need to have the freedom to initiate character building and behavior of AI-driven NPCs. This allows teachers to customize avatars, personalities, dialogue styles, and responses to align with specific learning objectives. So, learning objectives. What learning objectives can you set? AI in virtual reality and virtual world supports the practice of multiple areas of language learning, from basic linguistic competencies to advanced pragmatic and social linguistic skills. So, for example, discourse competencies are promoted, vocabulary acquisition. You can also see some examples, but I'm just going through them quickly because you may have questions to ask at the end. Grammar and syntactical use of the language in practice. Pragmatics and social linguistics is another area. Dialectics. A lot of that is so entertaining and realistic. For example, having dialogues holding different points of view from the NPC through reasoned argumentation, which is exactly what you could do with Socrates, and Alexis, which is the teacher consultant in Wonder VR, or with the engineers, the car engineers in Frame VR. Fluency development is another target you can set for your students through AI in VR, role-playing activities such as guiding tourists in a virtual city or simulated debates to sustain argumentation. Reading and comprehension, treasure hunts where learners read and interpret clues, completing tasks by interpreting instructions. Writing practice is also whatever you do in class, but this is in a more memorable and realistic way. For example, writing the NPC prompt itself is an important task for the students. Storyboarding for a virtual experience, completing a NPC generating emails or letters. Pronunciation and phonology if you have a text-to-speech or speech-to-text generated AI NPC, listening comprehension skills, despite the robotic accent of most of the NPCs. CLIL, content and language integrated learning is possible, and promoting multiple intelligences, linguistic, spatial, kinesthetic, and interpersonal, logical, mathematical, technological. You could do this in various ways. What are the benefits? And you may ask, why not use a course book? Well, using the testimonials of students, I've already explained that the students themselves have found the use of AI NPCs in virtual reality more realistic, more natural. The conversation as compared to course book discourse is more natural based on the most appropriate prompt instructions.
Helena,
Yes, there are
I'm
two,
ever
3
so
minutes.
sorry.
There are 3 minutes left, but I have a big announcement to make after this. So there is need for collaborative opportunities for stakeholders, teachers, cross-cultural collaboration, AI ethical development, global networking platforms, like, for example, EVO sessions, which are coming up soon, that I would like to invite you to. So do join us at the next EVO 2025. I must correct myself. It's EVO 2025. You can scan this QR code and find more information. I will be lead moderator, co-moderating with Georgia Manetta, with our honored guest speakers, Professor Sadler, Hake Philp, Amani Al-Kayad, Jennifer Hamilton, and we will be looking at various aspects of using different metaverse destinations together with AI in order to produce memorable lessons. I would like to thank the committee, the conference organizing committee, our amazing sponsors, the presenters, the crowd founders and volunteers, and all of my friends and colleagues in Second Life, Evo sessions. Thank you very much. And do not hesitate to join us. You will gain a lot of insight from the next Evo session, which is a continuation of all the previous sessions. Thank you. And I'm
Wonderful.
free
Thank you.
for questions.
And just one quick question from Cheryl.
Yes.
Is the conversation with the NPCs text-based or is that in voice?
Well, there are different types of AI-based NPCs. You can have text-to-speech, as I said earlier, or text-to-text or speech-to-text. This year we'll be focusing mostly on text-to-text for our more beginner learners, participants, sorry. Have I answered the question?
Yeah, and here's another quick question from Alan.
Okay.
Can you interface the AI with low-level language?
Yes, it is all about giving the right instructions and designing the prompt accurately. The flow of the lesson can be seamless depending on the level of the learners. So you can always set it based on the SEFR guidelines for levels of competencies, English language
Wonderful.
competencies.
Thank you ever so much, Helena, for this informative and interesting presentation.
Thank you for the opportunity. It's been wonderful to be here with you again. Thank you.
As a reminder to our audience, you will want to check out conference.opensimulator.org to see what's coming up on the conference schedule. You won't want to miss our next session, which will begin at 10 a.m. in this keynote region and is entitled Lone Wolf Talks Grid Tech. Also, we encourage you to visit the OSCC24 Poster Expo in the OSCC Expo 3 region to find accompanying information on presentations and explore the Hypergrid tour resources in OSCC Expo 2 region, along with sponsor and crowdfunder booths located throughout all of the OSCC Expo regions. Thank you again to our speakers and to the audience.